We want to make sure that we are doing things in a safe and compliant manner.
Right now on Up with KREM, growing concerns over a plan to transport thousands of gallons of toxic waste right through Spokane. Why the mayor is now pushing back.
Cold mornings for this weekend as we welcome in fall on Sunday, but the summer warmth is here to stay as temperatures easily cross into the 80s next week.
And the Spokane Dahlia Festival is this weekend, so we're live at the Rosarium Garden Center this morning, giving you all the details you need to know.
Up with KREM begins now.
Hi everyone, good morning. Happy Friday to you. So glad you're ending the week with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Let's get you ready for this Friday ahead of us by starting off with a look at the forecast. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is telling us, well, about a very warm start to fall, but kind of a mixed bag, right, Thomas?
Yeah, it depends on if you're out and about during the day or at night because, well, during the day it's going to be plenty nice, and for the first week of fall, actually pretty warm as well. But at night, our temperatures are still going to get colder and colder, especially tonight and tomorrow morning. That might be the coldest point of this entire weekend. As we start out today, an absolutely stunning looking sunrise incoming in about 30 minutes here. Of course, we are losing a lot of daylight this time of year as we approach the equinox, which marks the beginning of fall on this Sunday. And right now it is 50 degrees. We still might slip another degree or two, but for tomorrow morning, this is when it's going to start to feel colder outside, with freeze watches issued for the first time this year across northeastern Washington and far north Idaho.
It is 6:02, and as you wake up and head out the door this morning, here's a live look at that Hamilton exit off of I-90. Right now, traffic is moving nice and smoothly. What we love to see, especially on a Friday morning. We're again on Up with KREM. We bring you live traffic conditions every 30 minutes so you know what to prepare for as you head out the door.
Well, speaking of traffic, WashDOT and Spokane County Public Works will be working on several projects that will impact Hatch Road to Hamilton Road starting on Saturday. The county says it will begin paving the road Saturday morning for the Hatch Road project. Then starting on Monday, WashDOT says there will be overnight closures of the US 395 and Hatch Road on-ramp. We do have a full list of detours available to you right now on our website, krem.com.
We are learning new details about a plan to transport nuclear waste through the heart of downtown Spokane.
City leaders are already speaking out against the idea. KREM 2's Christian Garza brings us more this morning.
Officials say this is actually a demonstration project called the Test Bed Initiative, which includes moving pre-treated waste in liquid form from Hanford to approved disposal facilities in both Texas and Utah. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown sent a letter Wednesday to state and federal leaders detailing her concerns about the 2,000-gallon shipment, saying if the trip is successful, there could potentially be more trips in the future. Spokane Director of Communications and Marketing Aaron Hutt explains why this is concerning for the future of the city.
Our concern is that it's extremely dangerous. There's high risk involved. We're right on an aquifer. Our river runs right through the center of town and poses a pretty significant risk to our city.
Also in the letter, Mayor Brown says this new route through Spokane is only on the table after partners in the state of Oregon and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation raised community concerns.
We emphasize safety.
Hanford site spokesman for the U.S. Department of Energy, Ed Dawson, says that this exact process happened back in 2017. However, the amount that was shipped was 3 gallons versus the now 2,000 that they want to move.
I think the bottom line is that we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence. We want to make sure that we are doing things in a safe and compliant manner all throughout that process.
The city of Spokane, the state of Oregon, and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation tell us they would feel safer if the toxic waste was turned into a solid in the Tri-Cities and then shipped to wherever it needed to go, versus keeping it a liquid during travel. However, Dawson says that the Department of Energy is working on figuring out different ways to get this toxic waste out of Hanford to give as many different options as possible in the future, as instructed by the U.S. Government Accountability Office. Dawson says the waste is expected to be treated by the end of this year and transported sometime next year via trucks in government-regulated totes. All of the Pacific Northwest leaders speaking up about this demonstration project are saying the same thing. They are fully supportive of getting the toxic waste out of of Hanford. However, they don't support it coming through their respective communities in liquid form. Dawson tells me that a planned route for this 2,000-gallon project has not been finalized just yet. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Well, there are a lot of fun events taking place this weekend throughout the Inland Northwest, including the Spokane Dahlia Festival, which will be on full display at the Rosarium Garden Center.
That's where KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live for us this morning. So Brandon, you got the shirt on now. You're feeling festive. Tell us more about all of this, because these flowers are just beautiful.
They're stunning.
This is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure there could have been a better way to start my Friday morning than being able to have the honor and the opportunity to be here with you two. We've got Carol and Terry Newcomb, and I'm just so thankful you two have woken up so early this morning to speak with me. How are you feeling? I mean, we're in a room full of beautiful flowers. How's it going?
It's going great this morning.
Yeah.
We love it. There's something like waking up to flowers,
That's
right?
absolutely right, and it's an exciting weekend ahead. You've got the big weekend. Dahlia Festival is here at the Rosarium. So can you talk about that a little bit? What can people expect?
Sure. So when you come out, you can have something to eat with us.
Yeah.
Not only see flowers, but have a little bite to eat. So come for
Absolutely.
breakfast, lunch, and maybe take home some dinner. We have some great food vendors this weekend.
Yeah.
We have pastries from Billy's Diner,
Wow.
coffee, wonderful coffee selections from Redeem Coffee. Good will be here. We have random eats with hot dogs. We just have a big selection. I think Sullivan Family Farms is bringing their huckleberry hand pies, which are famous from last year.
None of that else sold you. The huckleberry, anytime you say huckleberry, that automatically gets me, buzzing.
Yes. And Sullivan Family Farms is bringing their oxen.
Wow.
I believe it's Theodore and Alvin from the Chipmunks show, and so you can come and pet the oxen while you're here and eat a huckleberry hand pie
Come
at the
on,
same
I mean,
time.
come on.
So.
All right, this is sounding like an absolutely amazing weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.,
That's right.
And then, you've got a bunch of classes as well. But can you talk about the hard work that goes into this, between you two and then just the entire community effort that comes together for this?
So we're standing here in front of the camera, but there's so many people behind us helping us do this. We have a planning committee, Sue Hines, Bev Mort from Snapdragon, Nikki from Tallgrass, and lots of other community members that are here helping us. We have a big staff of people. We have 7 or 8 staff that will be here waiting on customers and helping at the garden center. So you can buy plants and soil and all kinds of things here, which is our normal product.
We have a little special. And we've got, all right, Andres, I'm sorry, I know we're going to go a little long, but we talked about the flower crown,
yes,
right?
we wanted Brendan to have a flower crown, so I think there's still room in this class, folks, if you want to come and have a flower crown made here at the Rosarium.
Get into it, folks. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes.
And let's toss it back to you all in the studio.
Brandon, you look beautiful.
Amazing. Brandon,
I'm so jealous. It is. It's such a vibe. All right, it's 6:08. Let's take a look at some of our other top stories for this Friday morning.
A man convicted of second-degree murder in 2012 is headed back to prison, this time for first-degree assault. 29-year-old Avondre Graham was convicted of second-degree murder charges back in 2012. Shortly after his release, he was arrested in relation to an unprovoked assault in downtown Spokane back in January of 2023. Graham reached a plea agreement with the court yesterday, pleading guilty to first and third-degree assault. He was sentenced to just over 15 years in prison.
A man accused of a road rage murder faced a judge. Mark Bernard is accused of pulling up next to the victim's car, yelling, then shooting and killing the man. According to new court documents, investigators obtained Bernard's phone, where they found several videos of him practicing to commit the crime. Court documents allege the video shows the interior of his pickup and even panning out the driver's side window just before gunshots are heard. It's not clear, though, when these videos were recorded, but that's a look at some of this morning's top stories.
Looking ahead to next week, Brian Koberger will appear in court for the first time in Ada County in less than 1 week.
Koberger, of course, is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022. An Ada County district judge expects Koberger to appear in person. Now, this will be a status conference to determine next steps in the case, like when to reschedule hearings that were in Latah County and to settle on a timeline of the trial. Judge Stephen Hippler, who is now assigned to this case, will determine whether or not he will allow people to appear virtually for the case at next week's hearing.
That particular hearing is a status conference, and I think it's a chance for Judge Hippler, for the counsel involved, to kind of find direction for moving forward and moving the case towards the trial, and setting out some time for necessary hearings.
The judge says that Ada County will receive no help from Latah County. The trial was expected to start in June of 2025 and could last 3 months.
Time is 6:10 on this Friday morning, where conditions are a little cool this morning, but going to be another great day weather-wise, as the sun will be making an appearance in just about a half hour here. Now, we did have a pretty slight cold front that did pass through last night very quickly here. It will usher in some slightly cooler air today, not enough to make a difference during the day, but it will make a difference at night, as our low temperatures, not this morning, but tomorrow morning, will be much, much colder. But during the day, the sunshine still warms us up, likely into the 70s most everywhere. I still have the Palouse in the upper 60s today, so about 3 to 5 degrees cooler today compared to yesterday. For this weekend, it's about the cold mornings, and it could even lead to some frost for some. But next week, it's about the warm days, as our highs are still forecasted into the 80s by Tuesday.
Still ahead, the Boulevard race is set to take over the streets of Spokane this Sunday. In the next 3 minutes, race director John Neal joins us in studio to get you up to speed on what you need to know ahead of race day.